Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. This is Joe Libby, the anti-scam black belt. It is a beautiful sunny day here in San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about a really fascinating gambling scam, an intriguing gambling scam. And it's as old as the hills, but it's still being used in some cases today. You know, as a magician, I'm naturally interested in cons, scams, swindles, and hustles. And of course, my research naturally led me to gambling scams as well. And I think even people who don't gamble have an interest in gambling. It's interesting to people. And for some reason, people frequently have a very romantic notion about gambling cheats. Well, the reality is quite different. But the gambling cheat is always looking for an unfair advantage. He wants to know the cards that the other people at the table have been dealt in a game of poker, for instance. And one of the tools that they use is this one. It's very simple, but it's very effective. And when it's used correctly, it can be worth thousands of dollars to a gambling cheat. And it's this. Here you go. Take a look. It's called a shiner. Now, a shiner is just a mirror. And it can be used to get a glimpse of the cards that are being dealt. You get a look at the index of the card as it's being dealt out. And yeah, all you really need is a mirror if you want to do something like that. But this one has a very interesting feature. I'm going to turn it around so you can see. It has a little layer of camouflage to it. And check it out. I hope you can see this well enough on the camera there, but check that out. It's a U.S. nickel. So there are other types of coin shiners too, but there are a couple of ways that the coin shiner can be utilized. One is that if you're playing for actual money instead of chips, then you have all of your change piled up on the table and you have the shiner right there. So when you are dealing the cards, and when I say you, I mean the gambling cheat, but when you are dealing the cards, you can glimpse the card indexes as they're being dealt out. If somebody gets suspicious, you just flip the shiner over to the coin side and nobody is the wiser. Another way that it can be used is to palm it in the hand. Let's see, there you go, like that. Okay, and you find the right position for it in your hand so that when you are dealing out the cards, you can glimpse the card indexes as they are being dealt out. And again, if anybody gets suspicious, well, you just dump the shiner on the table, coin side up, and everything appears to be copacetic. So this one, I'll tell you this, it's really gorgeously made. It's very elegant, it's very simple, but very elegant in its construction. So it's really a very, very nice piece. I have a couple of shiners in my collection. I do not use them to cheat at cards. I just want to assure you about that. But here's another interesting one. Let's say you are getting ready to play a poker game with a guy, and before he deals out the cards, he lights up his cigarette or his cigar or his pipe with a match from the matchbox. He closes up the matchbox, and he sets it down on the table. And he deals the cards. The game begins. And in short order, he is having a very good night. You're having a very bad night, and he cleans you out. Well, he might have gotten a little illicit help from the matchbox because on the other side of this, there's a shiner inserted. And I'm going to push the drawer out so that you can see it a little better. There we go. There's our shiner right there. And the matchbox drawer has been modified so that the shiner is angled up. It makes it a perfect angle for seeing those card indexes as they are being dealt out. So you have to admire the workmanship that goes into this and the ingenuity. You just don't admire the results that they are using them for. But as I said, when they are properly used, a gambling cheat can make thousands of dollars with a device like this. So there are lots of ways that shiners have been constructed, and in a few minutes below this video, I'm going to post some links to some pictures that you can go look at. But for instance, I've seen shiners. I've not actually seen them. I've seen pictures of shiners that have been built into the bowl of a pipe. I have seen a shiner that was built into a stack of real silver dollars. So. And there are all kinds of things that can function as a shiner. For instance, A metal business card case could do it. A highly polished metal lighter, like a Zippo lighter, would work fine. And there is a famous story about a guy who was running a poker game, and before he dealt the first hand, he pulled a large knife out of his pocket and set it on the table. And he told everybody sitting at the table that if he caught anybody cheating, he wasn't going to be afraid to use that knife, and they would regret it. So all night long, everybody was on their best behavior. But what they never realized, what they never caught on to, was that the polished surface of that knife made a perfect shiner for the guy who was running the game, and he had a very good night. These days, shiners have even gone high tech. You have devices that are being made by some companies. A lot of them are in Asia and in Eastern Europe that use digital technology with miniature cameras, but are basically functioning as shiners, so that you look into a TV monitor, or an associate looks into a TV monitor to see the cards that are being dealt. It's really a fascinating topic. And what can we take away from all this? Well, you want to remember that con men and scammers use all kinds of techniques and all kinds of devices to pull off their scams. And one of the techniques they use is camouflage. They can take a suspicious object and they can make it appear normal so that you don't have any idea of what's going on. By the way, one thing I wanted to mention about the Matchbox shiner here. You can see the shiner right here, but if you're sitting just a couple of feet over from where the guy is, take a look. The shiner is completely hidden and you might not have any idea of what's going on. It's completely camouflaged. So you always want to be aware of everything that is going on around you. I don't advocate gambling, okay, first of all, but I just wanted to point these out because I thought it was a fascinating topic. But you want to be aware of everything that's going on around you. Don't assume something is normal just because it appears to be at first glance. Now, if you have any questions or comments about shiners, post them below in the comments and I'll be happy to follow up with you. If I don't know the answer to your question, I'll tell you to go Google it. Now, if I don't know the answer, I'll do everything I can to find out for you. And listen, if you haven't liked my Facebook page yet, which is facebook.com/Joe Libby Seminars, please do, because I'm going to be posting lots of great information in there to educate and inform about cons, scams, swindles, and hustles. And I also encourage you to visit my website, joelibbyseminars.com, because I have gifts and free trainings for you, and I'm going to be adding more over time. So, hey, I hope you all have an outstanding day. God bless you all. This is Joe Libby, the Anti-Scam Black Belt, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great day. Take care now.